Good evening, this is Cab, here to drive you crazy, and welcome back to another edition of Driven Deep, Boston Red Sox baseball. And after a final score today of 7-1, the Red Sox have evened up their series against the Kansas City Royals, and let's just jump straight into what is necessary to talk about. So, first off, on the very top of the first inning, Alexander Bogaerts had himself a single, which helped bring in Alex Verdugo for the score. So immediately, Boston Red Sox up 1-0. In the bottom of the third, Carlos Santana had a ground out, but was able to allow Nicky Lopez able to score, which evened it up 1-1. On the top of the fifth, we actually had a very huge inning for ourselves, which included Bobby Dalbec having himself a triple on a line drive into the left field and allowed Enrique Hernandez to be able to score. Following up immediately after that was Danny Santana's ground out, but allowing Bobby Dalbec to come in from third base to score. And immediately right after that, we had JD Martinez have himself a home run, which allowed the final score on that particular inning to be 5-1 in against Kansas City. But then final was the top of the ninth inning, where Bobby Dalbec had himself a 2-run home run as well, scoring Enrique Hernandez, and having our final score come out to be 7-1 in the favor of the Boston Red Sox. Finals stats for everything else was 8 hits for the Red Sox with no errors, and 7 hits for the Royals with no errors as well. Perez is the winning pitcher, now with a record of 5-4, and Keller having a 6-7 record. To go over some of the stats of all the players, Santana was 1-for-5 with 1 RBI. Verdugo went 1-for-2. Martinez was 1-for-4 with his home run. Bogaerts went 1-for-4 with his RBI. Rafael Devers was the one who had a bad day with 0-for-4. Renfroe also 0-for-4. Vasquez 0-for-4. Kike Hernandez was 1-for-2 with 2 walks. But Bobby Dalbec, the one actually having himself a great day today, going 3-for-3 with his 2 runs scored. So, obviously I had mentioned it back in some of the other videos to say Bobby Dalbec had been doing kind of a bad job in these last couple of games, and has really decided to say, hey, you know what, Cab, if you're going to be talking like this about me, you're going to definitely see my performance against a very bad pitcher. But in all seriousness, there was 34 at-bats for everybody, 7 runs obviously, 8 hits, 7 RBIs, all in scoring, 3 balls, base by balls, only 5 strikeouts, but again, we had 8 left on base, and only 1 was with runner in scoring position. On the other side of things, Merrifield went 1-for-3. Santana actually had himself kind of a okay day. 0-for-4, did have the ground out for the RBI. Perez went 1-for-4. Solar, the designated hitter, was 0-for-4. Dozier went 0-for-4 and actually is at a very subsidal 145 average, actually going 0-for-21 in his last 21 at-bats, obviously. Gutierrez, I believe I'm saying that correct now, is 1-for-4. Alberto was 1-for-3. Taylor 1-for-4, and Lopez was 2-for-4. They had 34 at-bats as well, only the 1 run, the 7 hits, 1 RBI, 2 base by balls, 7 strikeouts, but their left on base was huge. They actually had about 8. excuse me for the I misread for the Red Sox one. The left on base was 4. I don't know why I read that as 8. That was for them, the Kansas City. So apologies for that. Looking at the pitching right now, Perez went 5 innings, only allowing 3 hits and 1 run, 1 earned run. Whitlock went 2 innings with only 2 hits but 2 strikeouts. Shawarma Samura why do I always say this guy's name wrong? Sawamura, thank you, sorry. Went 1 inning, only allowed 1 strikeout. And then Brendan Workman came into the 9th inning knowing that he had a 7-1 lead. Gave up 2 hits, but had 1 strikeout. And for the Royals, it was Keller who went 5 innings, 5 hits, 5 runs, 5 earned runs, 3 bases by balls, 4 strikeouts, and did allow the 1 home run to JD Martinez. Swarzak went 1 inning and didn't give up any hits, no strikeouts, just all ground out, fly outs, line outs, all that. And then Kowar, which was the one who went 3 innings, but did allow the 3 hits, the 2 runs, the earned run from Bobby Dalbec's 1 home run, but did have 1 strikeout as well. And just to finish it off, to say, it was a very interesting game, obviously all around. Big jump and comeback for the Red Sox. Obviously, after not being able to do that much yesterday, they had less hits today, but again, it sometimes doesn't matter about the amount of hits, it's about how you are able to bring in the runs. And like I said, when you have more people to actually contribute compared to just the people who are doing it from before, I mentioned Bogarts was always having at least 1 hit, still maintaining a 320 average right now. Bobby Dalbec is the one who is sitting at a 214 average, but again, with his 3-for-3 performance, that is the kind of stuff that is necessary, knowing that we had 3 people going 0-for-4 with Devers, Renfroe, and Vasquez, who have been people to be very diligent in this series. Obviously, Christian Arroyo was not in this game, so they could have used him maybe a little bit later. More likely will probably be for tomorrow's game. But all in all, the Red Sox were able to come back with a good win. Obviously, solid win to be winning by 6 runs. And just to wrap this all up, we'll say tomorrow's game is a 2:10 game. I always say 2 o'clock just because I always try to round it out. But yeah, so, and I apologize to anyone too. I am mentioning these time periods, which is by the Eastern Standard Time. Obviously, like for me, I am in the Philippines, so I do have that 12 hours difference for the Red Sox games. So anything East Coast is 12 hours difference for me. So that's why if I say 2:10, it is because it's 2:10 p.m. for East Coast, while for me it's actually 2:10 in the morning. So that's why I always just say the time and not exactly like specific. But anyway, 2:10 start, and we'll have Nathan Eovaldi up, and he has a 7-3 record with a 3.76 ERA, and will be going up against Mike Minor, who is 5-4, who has a 4.63 ERA. And just looking at some of the matchups right now, only a few people actually are showing to have ever gone up against Minor, which is Bogarts, who was 1-for-3, and that 1 hit was actually a 3-run home run, so pretty impressive for that one. Rafael Devers was 0-for-3 against him. Marwin Gonzalez is 0-for-5 against him. JD Martinez is 1-for-5 against him. Danny Santana is actually 2-for-4, and Christian Vasquez is 0-for-2 against him. So Christian Arroyo, Bobby Dalbec, Kike Hernandez, Pelwecki, Renfroe, and Verdugo have never gone up against this particular pitcher. And looking at it again, it just shows pretty much the exact same thing like I had mentioned from my previous video. Everyone else besides Kelvin Gutierrez is the only person has not played against this pitcher, Nathan Eovaldi. But looking at it, there's a lot of people who have a lot of bats against them. Alberto has 14, Dozier has 10, Merrifield has 16, Carlos Santana has 11, Soler is 15, and all the rest were, like 7, 6, 4, and 2s appearances. But a lot of them do show that they've had home runs off of him, a few RBIs, especially for Carlos Santana, who shows to have the best average hitting against Nathan Eovaldi with a .636 average. 1 home run, 5 RBIs off of him as well. So we'll definitely have ourselves quite an interesting matchup for a team that has been very familiar against Nathan Eovaldi versus a team that has not really played against Mike Minor, but at the same time has been able to show that he can be very effective in this game. And just wanted to share really quickly, this is my baby Sox, so obviously go Red Sox, and happy Father's Day to everybody. It is Sunday for me over here, so thank you once again for watching my video. Leave a like, leave any comments for me, and of course I have my little subscribe button right over here. My name is Cab, and I am here to drive you crazy. Aloha, God bless, and take care.